everybody, welcome back to my channel. It's Joni Young here. I am so excited to show you guys how to paint lemons on the Amalfi Coast today in this tutorial. So no matter what level of painter you are, you can all jump in and paint along with me. Paint at your own level, your own pace. It doesn't matter, just start. You don't have to be a good painter for this. You just have to start, and then you're going to learn so much and eventually get better and better. So this tutorial is jam-packed full of tips, tricks, and techniques for you. I'm going to walk you through every step of the way. Let's go over all the colors and brushes and the canvas I'm using for this video today. We've got titanium white, sap green, phthalo turquoise, dioxazine violet, burnt sienna, cadmium yellow, luminous lemon, luminous red. I have the following brushes I'm going to be using today: a number 70 flat brush, a 1/4 inch Dagger brush, a number 2 rigger, a number 20 flat, and a number 14 filbert. I'm working on a 10 by 20 stretched canvas today. It's been primed already. So let's go ahead and get started with the very first step. The first thing I'm going to do is take my large brush and just add a little bit of water to the canvas. Now this is going to help you blend your acrylics out and spread them out a lot easier and smoother. While the canvas is wet, we're going to come in and start painting our sky. So the color of the sky I'm going to make is going to be like a light blue violet. So I'm going to show you a color recipe right now, right off the bat, using just a little bit of white first, a little bit of blue. I'm just taking the corner of my brush and just adding a little dab of that, and then the purple. So 3 colors: purple, white, and blue, in no specific order. That's just how I pick them up, but they're very concentrated, beautiful, professional grade paints and colors, so you don't need a lot. And we want a nice soft blue background, light blue violet background, so that's why I'm using more white. But you can see I only added a little bit of paint to the corner of my brush, and how strong that color is already. So that mixed with the white is going to give us a really, really pretty color. I'm going to add just a hint more of the blue and white, just a little bit. Now we're going to bring it down. I'm going to keep going down with that. And as we come down with it, what we're going to do is add more of the blue and the white, because this is going to start fading down into the water. So this beautiful violet color starts to come down. We're going to have a hillside here and some cliffs, and then we're going to have this beautiful turquoise water. It's going to take a little bit of blue and a little bit of green and white, and we're going to start to just pull get those colors again, and white, pull, blend them together. A little bit more white, a little bit more blue. Little circles, do whatever you have to do to get it blended just a little bit more. And then I'm going to take more of the blue and saturate this area down here a little bit more. Okay, then I want to take some yellow. I haven't rinsed my brush off. I'm going to take some white and this lemon yellow, and we're going to pull it here. And we're going to make some lighter shades. You can even start to wiggle like this. And this will give us some more shallow areas. So we're just going to take that paint and wiggle and then lightly pull. Let's do that again. Wiggle, wiggle. You don't have to have this brush to be able to do this. This is just movements. Use a little flat brush. It doesn't have to be one like this. Okay, and then we're going to bring it up and just lightly pull and pull. Take some more white. We're going to add a little bit of clouds here. Let's see, when you have your canvas a little wet prior to adding the paint, it makes your acrylics act more like oils. So it's quite pretty. Let's take just a tiny bit of blue and make it a little bit darker, just right in this area here. Now I'm going to come in with my 20 flat brush, and I'm going to take some purple and some brown, and we're going to come in and add a cliff. So we're going to add diagonally like this, bring it down, and then we'll stop right about there. We're just going to pull down and blend that paint out. We're going to make some areas a little darker and edgier. This is going to give us a 3D look to the rocks and the cliffs, making some of the areas jut out a little more and some be tucked inside. So just by going in like this and then bringing down an area a little bit lower and so on, you can create more depth that way. And little coves and bays for little beaches that might be in there as well. Okay, I'm going to take a little bit of green and I'm just going to dab, dab, dab. Now this is just going to be for some trees and plants growing on the hillside and the mountain here. Okay, then I'm going to take some white and I'm going to pull up, leave a few spaces. This is going to give us some areas that come out, jut out more. So it's just going to make your rocks look more 3D. You can add just a little sweep in the water, just pull and then go across. Then I always like to go back after with a little bit, I'm going to take a little bit of blue and purple and I'm going to just dab the base of the rocks. Okay, I'm going to rinse my brush out. I'm going to add a little bit of cadmium yellow with my green. I'm just going to use the corner of my brush here. We don't need anything really in full focus, detailed. We're just kind of blocking in more of a blurry, indistinct background. Some maybe olive trees, making olive green using the cadmium yellow and the sap green. Okay, then I'm going to take a little bit of white and mix that up with that olive green that we just made. And I'm just going to pull a few little lines like this up and down. And then I want to take purple and green. I'm going to start this area here darker. And then we can come in and cut in with our village and our houses. So we're going to bring this down, 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 down. Now I have another tutorial out with how to paint an orange tree hanging over with a little bit more visibility of some houses. It's a different canvas size and shape. It's 11 by 14. So there's lots to learn in that, and it would make a really beautiful pairing with this lemon tree one. Okay, just rinsed out my brush. I'm going to take a little bit of white and I'm going to start coming in right underneath and off to the side here. Creating a few little wave areas. I'm going to take a little bit of yellow, burnt sienna, some white, maybe just a tiny bit of red just to warm it up, more of a yellow ochre color. And we're going to start coming in here. Going to warm that up a little bit more with the red. I'm going to add beach, some sand here, little hints of it. Then some white. White with warm color that we just made. I'm just washing my brush out, and I'm going to pull this back a little bit. I want to have a little bit of neon yellow, lemon yellow. I'm going to just graze over that a little bit more. Take a little bit of the blue turquoise. So you can decide how much or how little you want of your beach area. And then adding a little bit of this yellow in there really changes the color of the water. So you can make it warmer or cooler by the amount of yellow and blue that you use, and white. Make darker areas in the water by less white, using less white and more blue, even little hints of purple. Okay, so I'm gonna move on now. Just slice into that white there, and I'm going to make this white foam a little narrower and bring it right up there. soften this sand as it starts to dry. Might dry a little darker than you want. I kind of like a little bit of color in there, so I'm going to leave that. Okay, now I'm going to come in with some white, and I'm going to add some roof lines that are just stacking up around the hillside here and built into the mountains. Then I'll pull down I don't want any of them too tall. So you can push and pull just like narrow little rectangles. Just little shapes like this, and you can easily transform it into an Amalfi village. You can add pastel colors to them if you want. And one that comes right down here. It's just about adding little lines and taps and dabs. But by adding a little bit of the peach or even a little bit of red in here, we can add some pastel or terracotta colored roofs, or little, just an indication, right? Don't get carried away by trying to add too many details. Don't get lost in the details. This is just setting the backdrop for our lemon branch. You can add a few little lines here. Indistinct, blur them out. Because there's houses that just are built all along the cliffside into the mountain. Now we can take a little bit of cadmium yellow. Mix a little bit of that as well. Include that in our little houses here. I'm going to rinse my brush out. I'm going to mix up a little bit of light blue, just my blue, even turquoise is fine, and add a bit of that. Whatever color turquoise or pastels that you want. And if you're not sure, there's a ton of pictures out there of the Amalfi Coast. Okay, I'm going to leave it like that, and we're going to move on. I'm going to show you how you can add some really simple figures. No details. We're not going to seed body parts. We're just going to add, I'm going to use the rigger brush, a little bit of water, some purple and green, and all we're going to do, there's so little, just see little dabs like this of people scattered and walking and having beach days. We can add a few little dabs in the buildings too. Nothing too big. And then take just a little bit of white. And all I'm going to do is just sweep down here and there. Little bits in the water. We can add a towel. Maybe there's some towels, that beach towels people have. Pick some different colors, a little bit of white and yellow. Add a little bit of that to the hillside here. Add a little bit of red. I mean, it really is this easy, you guys. You can make, it doesn't have to look like a photograph. It's art. How pretty would this look on the wall? I mean, even just like this would make for a nice painting, but I'm gonna add a little lemon branch. I'm just gonna add a few more darker. I don't know, maybe there's people out in the water. Add a little bit of white to soften some areas. Camouflage, any color you want, yellow, green. Add little dabs on the tops. Maybe they've got a hat on. Okay, it's time to come in and start working on our branch. I'm going to be using the Dagger brush, it's a 1/4 inch, and I'm going to add, let's see, some brown, some purple, a little bit of water, and I'll just come and have a few coming down here. I really like the scene that we have. I don't want to cover up too much of that or take away too much from that, but I do want to include the lemons because it's really a big part of Amalfi. They're known for their lemons. Well, I mean, there's quite a few different regions in Italy that Sorrento is another one. Okay, so all you can do is just add a few little things like that. And I love the Dagger brush because you can use it to paint thicker areas. You have so much control with it. It's like 2 different brushes in one brush. Just adding a little dab here and there. Okay, I'm just going to take a little bit of white now, a little bit of green with the same colors in my brush, and I'm going to come and just graze underneath here on the underside of the branch. Okay, let's take a little bit more. And I'm going to add some green, some sap green, some white, some of the lemon yellow, all 3 colors here. And I'm going to push, let off, push, let off. You can add a little bit of purple in there. But paint it loosely. You don't have to try very hard. Take a little bit of yellow and the white in there. A little bit more yellow. Add some light. You gotta make the leaves a decent size so they don't get lost with feeling like they're part of the background, right? These are, I feel like we're up on some beautiful veranda having a glass of wine or a spritzer on a balcony, just enjoying the beautiful view with a lemon tree. I'm gonna add just a little bit of green and yellow. Have that kind of blend into the little branches. A little bit of white here and there. Don't overblend or push too hard if you're painting wet on wet like this, but you can definitely dry it off before adding your highlights and shadows. Okay, so now we're going to paint our lemons. I'm going to be using my 14 filbert brush for this, and I'm going to start with white and the lemon yellow. You have to have the white in here so that it doesn't dry see-through. So we need a white base. And I'm just going to start with, I'll add one right here. So you want to make it an almond shape. I'll add another one here. And maybe another one right here. I'm going to add a little bit more white inside. You can just kind of tap. This is going to give them a little bit of texture. Add just maybe one more right here. And a little bit of white, it'll keep it bright. Okay, now we're going to dry this off and we'll come in with the next layer. I'm going to use my Dagger brush now so I can come in and start adding the colors more carefully. The filbert brush is great for the initial shape and base color. I'm going to take some cadmium yellow and the lemon yellow, and I'm going to come around side. See how we're left with that texture? You really don't need a lot of paint for this. Okay, I'm going to add a little bit more. And I'm going to take a little bit of burnt sienna. I know you're thinking lemons are not brown, but some shadows, making different shades. So we're going to just go around part of the base and the sides. Okay, a little bit like that. Then even a little bit more, be a little bit more generous. Rinse the brush out. And we're going to saturate these lemons. We've got warm yellows. Now we're adding the cool lemon yellow. You can tap and dab over the other colors, but leave an area towards the middle or the top that's going to have some white in it to make it look 3D. So now we'll take some white and dab, 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 dab. I really loved painting this. I hope you guys enjoyed this one too. Let me know in the comments below, and please subscribe to my channel. Don't forget. It means a lot to me when you become a subscriber, and it also helps to put my videos out into the algorithm so more and more people like yourselves can learn to paint with me. Have a wonderful day. I'll see you very soon in my next video. As I say goodbye, I'm just gonna add a little stem here because I realize I don't have a stem here. So as I say goodbye, I want to wish you guys all the best using a little bit of purple and green. And I'm just gonna add a little dab on the top. Little dab on the top and say goodbye to you. I'll see you soon in another video. Take care.